Rumble is red, Frenzy is blue, and today it's G1 for this toy review. Now, of course, if you've been watching this series from the very beginning and have watched every single episode in the past, you will know that I am not a big fan of early G1. Okay, technically that's an oversimplification. I don't hate G1, I just hate the cartoon, A. B, I hate obnoxious gatekeepers online who say that G1 cartoon is the ultimate version of Transformers and this is the only way Transformers should be.
Okay, phew, that was close. Hey, wait a minute.
Ugh, for f***'s sake, get some perspective, will you? And no, that scene was not created by a fan. Frenzy/Rumble literally did turn into a tree. Friends tree. There are some parts I do like the later bits with the horror cons and headmasters, all the weird stuff that came after the G1 as the public remembers it. My other big complaint is that, well, the Generations toy line is completely engorged in the G1 cartoon aesthetic. And of course, I have a quote here from Transmetal TK on Twitter, who you should totally follow if you want to see awesome digibashes, that sums up my opinion on this matter quite well, in fact. G1ers are always on the brink of admitting mindless G1 accuracy isn't the best. But they never will because cognitive dissonance is too strong. So then, why am I choosing to review some of the first toys released in G1? Well, A, it's my birthday and I can do whatever the heck I want for my birthday, and B, it's my channel. I can do whatever the heck I want for my channel. If you have a problem with that, go and make your own toy review channel so you can complain about toys. As for me though, I'll do what I want. I also came to a realization when I was watching Dr. Lockdown's review of World War II Bumblebee. I shouldn't be reviewing a toy because it's new or exciting. I should be reviewing a toy because it speaks to me as an individual. So, let's celebrate my birthday with a massive review of the Walmart reissues of G1 Rumble, G1 Frenzy, G1 Laserbeak, and G1 Ravage. And I believe Rumble will be an appropriate place to start, seeing as how he is the one who I always say first in my little opening catchphrase. Now, as I am sure we are all mostly aware, G1 Soundwave and his cassette cons came from the Japanese toy line Microchange. Soundwave was originally Cassette Man, essentially a giant cassette player that turned into a robot. Big shock. His name is literally Cassette Man. And, of course, he came with little robots that fit into his chest. Now, as I think many of you are aware, Rumble and or Frenzy here is the center of some massive controversy in the Transformers fandom. Namely because, thanks to the thrifty nature of the G1 animation, both of them swapped colors quite frequently. And there are three massive subcategories that exist within the fandom upon this debate. One believes that Rumble is red and Frenzy is blue. The other believes that Rumble is blue and Frenzy is red. And of course, the third group, which I subscribe to, is the group that doesn't really care. The only reason I say Rumble is red and Frenzy is blue is because, well, it sounds snappy. Anyways, that's getting off track. Now, of course, the thing that surprised me the most about these figures, aside from the fact that I actually really liked them, was the fact that they're actually surprisingly posable for being G1 toys. I mean, just look. We've got a hinge here at the shoulder, a shoulder swivel, and a double bend here at the bicep. We've also got a hip swivel and a backwards knee. And I guess you could consider this like a foot shuffle here. Now, of course, these crummy chromy cannons on the back here can pop off and be plugged onto the backs of the arms to simulate his pile drivers from the cartoon. Of course, they still kind of look ridiculous, but what do you want, I guess? Frenzy, meanwhile, is practically identical, except he's blue. However, I'd like to take this opportunity, if I may, to gripe about the stickers. Because while, yes, they are nice and very metallic-y and chromy, and they, like all stickers, have an annoying tendency to peel off, which I absolutely hate. Because one, it's annoying for several reasons, not least of which being A, I've lost both of the stickers on Frenzy and Rumble's biceps, and two, because, well, I'd like for them to stay nice and sort of perfect-ish. I don't want to have all these ratty ends that I have to sort of, like, reapply and then, like, use super glue to get them back on. That's just feels like I shouldn't have to fix that, okay? And of course, we move on to the second most iconic member of the cassette crew, Ravage. Now then, when Ravage isn't busy being a wildcat, he is of course a wolf. And when Ravage isn't busy being a wolf, he's of course being a... werehog? What the heck? Why do I get the feeling that Sega saw this, and why do I get the feeling that this is where Did Sega get the idea for the werehog from... Now, out of the four, Ravage was the one who surprised me the most for his posability. He's got an up and down here at his neck. He's also got a joint here at his hip, a joint here at his knee, and a joint here at his paw. And the same carries over to the back leg. Well, back legs. And of course, I can't mention Ravage without mentioning that he doesn't have any stickers. All of his cassette details are painted on in silver. Now then, the one sticker he does have is the G1 iconic rub sign. We'll just take the corner of your shirt and rub it there a little bit. Bam. See? Now it's a bit more clearer. Now, on 3 of the 4 cassette cons, this is completely redundant, because Rumble/Frenzy has it on his chest, and of course Laserbeak has it on his forehead. But it's still pretty cool and fun. Now it is time to talk about the iconic sardonic condor, Sarkondor if you will, that is Laserbeak. Now then, out of the 3 molds present in the cassette cons, Laserbeak is by far the least posable. He literally only has a kind of wing flap here, 2 wing flaps, and this. Now then, let's transform the 4 of them and get to my final verdict. Of course, now that we have transformed all 4 of them, we can't really talk about posability or anything. I mean, as cassettes, they all look really nice, but they all just kind of sit there. But isn't that kind of the point of a cassette? It just sits there or inside of your sound box? But isn't that kind of the point of a cassette? It just sits there inside of your Walkman or whatever and plays music. Isn't that kind of the point of a cassette? And without G1 Soundwave or G1 Sound Blaster, I'm afraid there isn't much I can do with them here and now. However, we can play a little game of who else is compatible with G1 Soundwave's cassette cons? First up, RID Warrior Class. Nope. Second up, Siege Voyager. Still nothing. Third up, Bumblebee reissue of Leader Titan's Return Soundwave. Yes, but extremely loosely. So overall, these toys have actually proven to me that G1 is actually pretty good. Well, at least the toy line anyway. But unfortunately, that's where I must talk about the prices. Because honestly, those are what kill it. Now then, generally speaking, a figure with this little posability in it usually doesn't cost a lot to make. Like, it's generally on the same level of engineering as like a Legion toy. So you'd expect it to be like very cheap, like $5, maybe $6 or $7, $8 if you're Cyberverse. But no, the cost of these characters per cassette comes down to $10 a piece. And they're sold in packs of 2. So if you want to get the full set of G1 cassette cons, you're going to have to pony up approximately $40, not including other reissues that haven't come out yet. And you're probably wondering, as did I, why are they so expensive? Why do they cost the same as a deluxe several years ago? Well, let me tell you, it's because of inflation and because of die-cast construction. Now, as I'm sure many of you are aware, die-cast is essentially a piece of a toy that's made out of actual metal. And in fact, all of these toys have some on them. In the case of Ravage, it's the pin holding his leg joints in place, and also the bottom halves of his legs. In the case of Rumble and Frenzy, it's the feet, and the part of the arm that connects the upper arm to the forearm. And in the case of Laserbeak, this entire red chunk right here is die-cast metal. So that's what kind of jacks up the prices. And I kind of hate to say it, but I'm not sure if these things are worth $10 each. At most, I'd put them at like $7.50 a piece. So, really, at the end of the day, it's really down to a personal choice. Do you wait for them to go on clearance? Or do you just buy them up and spend the $10 anyway? Choice is yours, ultimately. But let's end on a positive note, because it is my birthday. But essentially, what I want to say here is that the cassette cons are very good. I do recommend you get the cassette cons, but wait for them to go on clearance. They are very good, and I don't think anyone should have to pony up over $40 for the cassette cons. But unfortunately, unless it goes on clearance, which I doubt will happen, though honestly, considering how long it took Walmart to restock their toy aisle last time I checked, like at least a month, I'm ready to be surprised. But with that being said, I do kind of recommend them, but only at a discount price. So with that being said, this is Firebite27, reminding you to like my video, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel, comment below, and of course ring that notification bell to know when I'm posting the next episode of It Figures, which should hopefully be sooner rather than later. See you then.